Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. In today's lesson, we have a comprehensive and practical conversation about learning languages, the challenges learners face, and useful tips for improving skills. You will learn advanced vocabulary, practice natural English sentences, and gain confidence in discussing language learning strategies in real-life situations. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, and leave a comment about your own language learning experiences. Let's begin.
Hi James. I've been thinking a lot about learning a new language, but I feel overwhelmed by all the options and methods.
Hi Lily, that's completely normal. Learning a language can feel challenging at first, but with the right strategies, it can also be extremely rewarding.
I'm not sure whether I should focus on speaking first or start with grammar and vocabulary.
It really depends on your goals. If your main aim is communication, practicing speaking and listening from the beginning can be very helpful, but understanding grammar and vocabulary provides a solid foundation.
I often get frustrated when I can't remember words I've learned.
That's a common challenge. One tip is to use spaced repetition techniques and review words regularly instead of trying to memorize everything at once.
How can I practice listening when I don't have anyone to talk to in that language?
You can listen to podcasts, watch movies or series, and even follow YouTube channels in the language. Immersion is key, even if it's only through audio or video.
I sometimes feel embarrassed when I try to speak and make mistakes.
Making mistakes is a natural part of learning, and in fact, it's one of the fastest ways to improve because it helps you identify areas for improvement.
I've heard that learning through music can be effective. Is that true?
Absolutely. Listening to songs in the target language helps you remember vocabulary, understand pronunciation, and even feel more connected to the culture.
I usually study for long hours, but I feel like I'm not making much progress.
Studying for long periods without breaks can lead to burnout. It's often more effective to study consistently for shorter periods every day rather than cramming height.
How do I know if my pronunciation is good enough?
Recording yourself, listening carefully, and comparing your speech to native speakers can help, and using language learning apps with pronunciation feedback is also very useful.
Sometimes I get bored when studying grammar rules.
That's understandable. You can make grammar practice more interesting by using real-life examples, creating dialogues, or applying the rules while speaking.
I want to improve my writing, but I don't know where to start.
Start by writing simple paragraphs about your daily life and gradually make them more complex. Then, ask a teacher, tutor, or language exchange partner to give feedback.
What if I forget everything after a few months of not practicing?
That can happen if you don't maintain the language, so try to use it daily, even in small ways like reading news articles, writing a journal, or chatting online.
Is it better to learn one language at a time or multiple languages simultaneously?
Learning multiple languages is possible, but it can be confusing if they are similar. Most learners benefit from focusing on one language until they reach an intermediate level, 13.
I sometimes struggle with motivation because progress feels slow.
Setting clear, achievable goals and tracking your progress can help maintain motivation, and celebrating small successes keeps you encouraged, 14.
I get nervous speaking to native speakers because I worry about making mistakes.
Native speakers usually appreciate your effort and are patient. Remember that communication is more important than perfection.
I've tried language apps, but I feel like I'm not improving fast enough.
Apps are helpful for vocabulary and basic grammar, but combining them with speaking practice, listening, and reading will lead to more balanced progress, 16.
Can learning a language help me professionally?
Definitely. Being bilingual or multilingual opens career opportunities, improves cognitive skills, and makes you more adaptable in international environments.
I often confuse similar words or phrases.
Using them in context, writing sentences, and practicing in conversation helps reinforce the differences between similar words.
How can I remember grammar rules without memorizing them mechanically?
Focus on using the rules in real sentences and situations rather than rote memorization. Practice makes the rules natural over time.
I sometimes feel like I'm too old to learn a new language.
Age is not a barrier. Adults can learn languages effectively, and studies show that mature learners often have better discipline and learning strategies.
I've heard immersion is the fastest way to learn. Is that true?
Immersion is very effective because it surrounds you with the language in real-life contexts, but combining immersion with structured study usually works best.
Can watching movies in a target language really improve my understanding?
Yes, especially if you use subtitles at first and gradually try without them. You'll improve listening comprehension and learn colloquial expressions.
I sometimes feel anxious when I speak in public in a new language.
That's normal. Practicing in safe environments first, like language exchanges or online groups, can build your confidence over time.
How can I expand my vocabulary effectively?
Focus on thematic vocabulary, use flashcards or apps, write new words in context, and practice them regularly to reinforce memory.
I struggle with remembering irregular verbs and exceptions.
Grouping them by patterns, creating songs, or using mnemonics can make remembering irregular verbs much easier.
Sometimes I get frustrated when I don't understand fast speech.
Listen to slower content first and gradually increase the speed. Repeated exposure improves your ability to comprehend natural speech.
I'm worried I'll never reach fluency.
Fluency takes time and consistent effort, but every small improvement brings you closer. Persistence is more important than perfection.
Can I learn a language without a teacher?
Yes, many people succeed through self-study, online courses, and conversation practice, but guidance from a teacher can accelerate progress and prevent mistakes.
I sometimes lose focus while reading or listening in the new language.
Break your study into shorter sessions, focus on interesting topics, and take notes to stay engaged and retain information.
What's the best way to practice speaking if I don't know anyone in the language?
Online language exchange platforms, speaking to voice assistants, or even talking to yourself in the language can be surprisingly effective.
I often mix words from different languages I know.
That's called code switching. It's common among multilingual learners and usually decreases with practice and exposure.
Should I focus more on grammar or communication?
Both are important, but at the beginning, communication should take priority. Grammar can be refined gradually while speaking.
I sometimes find it hard to understand slang or informal expressions.
Watching movies, listening to podcasts, and interacting with native speakers helps you pick up informal language naturally.
Can I improve my accent?
Yes, by listening carefully, mimicking native speakers, and practicing pronunciation consistently.
How long does it take to become fluent?
It varies depending on your effort, exposure, and the language itself, but consistent daily practice accelerates progress.
I sometimes feel discouraged when I can't understand everything in conversations.
That's normal. Focus on understanding the main ideas first, and gradually details will become clearer with practice.
Is it helpful to keep a journal in the new language?
Absolutely. Writing regularly helps reinforce vocabulary, grammar, and sentence structure.
I struggle to find time to study every day.
Even 15 to 20 minutes daily is better than long, but irregular study sessions. Consistency matters most.
Can social media help me learn?
Yes, following native speakers, language learning groups, and content in the target language can boost exposure and engagement.
I sometimes forget what I learned last week.
That's why regular review is essential. Revisiting old material strengthens long-term memory.
Can I learn a language faster by traveling abroad?
Immersion abroad is extremely effective, but combining travel with study and practice ensures faster progress.
I often compare myself to others who learn faster.
Avoid comparisons. Everyone learns at their own pace, and small daily improvements matter more than speed.
Can movies and songs really replace textbooks?
They complement textbooks by providing context, natural expressions, and cultural understanding, but textbooks are still useful for structure.
I sometimes feel shy speaking in front of others.
Start with small groups or online chats. Confidence grows gradually through practice.
Should I focus more on active skills like speaking or passive skills like listening and reading?
Both are important, but active practice often accelerates fluency because it forces recall and production.
I struggle with remembering new words and context.
Creating sentences, stories, or dialogues with new words helps you remember them naturally.
How can I make studying more fun?
Use games, apps, music, movies, or conversations that interest you. Enjoyment improves learning retention.
Can learning a language improve my memory in general?
Yes, studies show that multilingual learners often have better memory, focus, and cognitive flexibility.
I worry about forgetting my first language while learning a new one.
That's rare. Your first language usually stays strong, and learning a new one can even strengthen cognitive skills.
I sometimes feel like I'm not motivated enough.
Setting meaningful goals, rewarding yourself, and finding enjoyable ways to practice keeps motivation high.
How do I deal with plateaus when progress seems to stop?
Change your routine, try new activities, and challenge yourself with slightly more difficult material to overcome plateaus.
Can I rely only on online tools to learn a language?
They are useful, but combining them with speaking, listening to native content, and real-life practice ensures well-rounded learning.
I sometimes forget the gender of nouns in languages like French or Spanish.
Practice by grouping nouns with articles, using flashcards, and repeating them in sentences to reinforce memory.
I feel nervous when I can't understand jokes or idioms.
That's normal. Learning idioms and humor comes gradually with exposure to native speakers and media.
Can I practice speaking without a partner?
Yes, talking to yourself, recording, or using speech recognition apps can help improve fluency.
I sometimes mix up tenses when I speak.
That's common. Practice storytelling and past, present, and future narration to improve accuracy.
Can I learn faster if I focus on phrases instead of single words?
Yes, learning chunks or phrases helps you speak naturally and remember vocabulary in context.
I often forget to practice regularly.
Setting reminders, keeping a schedule, and integrating language into daily life helps maintain consistency.
Is it better to learn with a teacher or self-study?
Both can work. A teacher provides guidance and correction, while self-study develops independence and flexibility.
I sometimes feel overwhelmed by grammar exceptions.
Focus on the most common rules first, then gradually learn exceptions as you encounter them in context.
I want to become fluent but also sound natural.
Listening, imitating native speakers, and practicing intonation and rhythm will make your speech sound more natural.
How can I avoid translating in my head all the time?
Practice thinking directly in the language and use immersion techniques, like labeling objects or narrating your day internally.
I struggle with remembering irregular verbs.
Create patterns, songs, or associations to make irregular verbs easier to recall.
Should I write essays in the language?
Yes, it helps structure your thoughts, reinforces grammar, and improves vocabulary usage.
I often forget words during conversation.
Don't panic. Try paraphrasing, describing the word, or using gestures until you remember it.
I want to sound confident when speaking.
Practice speaking regularly, slow down, and focus on clarity rather than perfection.
Can language learning improve my problem-solving skills?
Yes, it enhances cognitive flexibility, attention, and analytical thinking.
I feel frustrated when I compare myself to fluent speakers.
Remember that fluency takes years. Focus on your own progress and celebrate achievements along the way.
How can I stay motivated during long learning journeys?
Find meaningful reasons for learning, track progress, and mix enjoyable activities with structured study.
I sometimes feel I don't have enough exposure to the language.
Create immersion by reading, listening, speaking, and thinking in the language daily, even in small ways.
Can I learn through games?
Yes, language games make learning fun, reinforce memory, and improve problem solving in the language context.
I often forget grammar rules under pressure.
Practice using grammar in conversation and writing, not just memorizing, so it becomes automatic.
Can I learn a language by watching cartoons?
Definitely. Cartoons use simple, clear language and can help you understand pronunciation and vocabulary.
I struggle to understand regional accents.
Listen to multiple speakers, focus on context, and practice mimicking different accents gradually.
How can I make friends to practice the language?
Join language exchanges, online communities, or local meetups to find partners with similar goals.
I sometimes lose confidence when I can't respond quickly.
Pause, think, and respond slowly if needed. Fluency develops with practice and patience.
Can learning multiple languages at once cause confusion?
It can, especially if the languages are similar. Spacing learning sessions and focusing on one language at a time is usually more effective.
How do I learn to think in the new language naturally?
Immerse yourself, narrate your day, and avoid translating word for word from your native language.
I sometimes feel like my progress is too slow.
Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Consistent effort matters more than speed.
How can I remember vocabulary for the long term?
Use words in context, revisit them frequently, and connect them to images or stories for better retention.
I want to improve my listening comprehension.
Listen daily to podcasts, videos, and conversations, starting with slower content and gradually increasing difficulty.
Can I practice grammar without getting bored?
Combine grammar exercises with speaking or writing tasks to make it more meaningful and engaging.
I sometimes mix tenses when speaking quickly.
Practice storytelling in different tenses and focus on speaking slowly and clearly at first.
Can language learning improve my memory?
Yes, learning new languages strengthens memory, multitasking, and mental flexibility.
How can I avoid forgetting the language I learned last year?
Regular practice, revisiting material, and integrating the language into daily life helps maintain proficiency.
I sometimes feel shy when speaking with native speakers.
Start small, use simple sentences, and gradually increase your confidence. Most native speakers are supportive.
Is it better to focus on speaking or writing first?
It depends on your goals, but speaking often helps reinforce vocabulary and grammar in practical contexts.
I struggle with idioms and expressions.
I struggle with idioms and expressions.
Can I learn a language while working full-time?
Yes, short daily practice sessions, immersion through media, and consistent effort make it possible.
I feel frustrated when I forget words mid-conversation.
Don't worry, paraphrasing, describing the word, or asking for clarification keeps communication flowing.
Can I rely only on apps to become fluent?
Apps are helpful, but combining them with speaking, reading, and listening practice ensures well-rounded progress.
I want to sound natural, not robotic.
Mimicking native speakers, listening carefully, and practicing intonation and rhythm helps you sound more natural.
Can learning a language improve my creativity?
Yes, it encourages flexible thinking, problem-solving, and seeing ideas from multiple perspectives.
How do I deal with slow progress periods?
Regular practice, revisiting material, and integrating the language into daily life helps maintain proficiency.
Can I maintain multiple languages at the same time?
Yes, with careful scheduling, practice, and context separation, but it requires discipline and planning.
I struggle with pronunciation and intonation.
I struggle with pronunciation and intonation.
Can I learn a language faster by using immersion techniques?
Definitely, immersion accelerates learning, but combining it with structured study ensures comprehensive understanding.
How do I remember new words effectively?
Use them in sentences, associate them with images or experiences, and review frequently.
I sometimes feel demotivated after failing to understand native speakers.
Keep practicing. Focus on comprehension of the main ideas first, and gradually details will become clearer.
Is it okay to mix learning methods?
Absolutely. Using a combination of apps, courses, speaking, and media makes learning more engaging and effective.
I want to improve my fluency quickly.
Focus on active practice, exposure to real-life language, and consistent effort. Fluency develops gradually.
Can storytelling help me learn?
Yes, creating and narrating stories in the target language improves vocabulary, grammar, and speaking confidence.
I sometimes feel overwhelmed by all the rules.
Focus on patterns and frequent structures first, and gradually add exceptions as you encounter them naturally.
Can learning a language improve my listening skills in general?
Yes, listening in another language strengthens your auditory attention and comprehension skills.
I struggle to stay motivated for long-term learning.
Break your goals into smaller milestones, reward progress, and make learning enjoyable to maintain motivation.
How do I improve my confidence speaking?
Practice regularly, start in safe environments, and gradually increase complexity and exposure to native speakers.
I feel frustrated when I can't understand fast speech.
Start with slow audio, repeat, and gradually increase speed. Repeated exposure improves comprehension.
Is it helpful to write essays and journals?
Yes, writing reinforces grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure, and encourages active use of the language.
Can I maintain motivation without seeing immediate results?
Yes, focusing on progress, consistent practice, and enjoying the process is more important than instant results.
I sometimes forget vocabulary mid-conversation.
Paraphrase, describe words, or use gestures. Communication matters more than perfect recall.
Can immersion alone make me fluent?
Immersion helps greatly, but combining it with structured learning ensures full mastery of grammar and vocabulary.
I want to speak naturally, not sound like a textbook.
Listen to native speakers, mimic their intonation, and practice speaking in real contexts to sound natural.
Can games and entertainment help me learn effectively?
Yes, they increase engagement, reinforce vocabulary, and provide context for practical usage.
I sometimes feel discouraged by mistakes.
Mistakes are valuable learning opportunities. The more you make them, the faster you improve.
Can I learn a language without a teacher?
Yes, with discipline, resources, and regular practice, self-study can be very effective.
I often forget grammar rules.
Focus on practical usage, practice in context, and review regularly rather than relying solely on memorization.
Can listening to songs help pronunciation?
Yes, it helps with rhythm, stress, and familiarizing yourself with natural speech patterns.
How can I avoid forgetting the language I learned last year?
Mix activities, take breaks, and integrate fun elements like games, music, or cultural content.
I sometimes feel anxious speaking in front of others.
Start small, practice gradually, and remember that confidence grows with repeated exposure.
Can I combine learning with my hobbies?
Absolutely. Reading books, watching movies, or playing games in the target language makes learning enjoyable and sustainable.
Thanks, James. I feel ready to tackle language learning with more strategies and confidence.
You're welcome, Lily. Consistency, practice, and patience will take you far. Enjoy the journey of learning a new language.